Did I lie to Miss?
That's a simple question, Mr. Bradley. You're a lawyer.
So I just did a video on the Fani debacle when she did her testimony. Then everyone saw Nathan Wade take the stand. Now we're dealing with Nathan Wade's former law partner, Terrance Bradley. Now remember, this is not political. This is not anything left or right. I don't care how you vote. But using body language, in my opinion, this is one of the worst attempts at covering up lies that I've ever seen. Let's get going.
Mr. Bradley, when you communicated with Miss Merchant, did you tell her any lies about Mr. Wade and Miss Willis's relationship?
4 hours later.
Did I lie to Miss?
We're finding out this is very typical of Mr. Bradley. He takes a long time to process words. This is a good thing. You don't want an attorney or a lawyer at any time to just say things that he hasn't thought through, because he or she may be thinking of things they shouldn't say. And in addition to that, if you noticed, he repeats the question to buy himself time.
Did I lie to Miss?
One thing that people do naturally when they don't have a good answer yet, they repeat the question. All this does is buy time. Your brain is doing a million things at once, trying to align the information. And if you ask the question, it buys you precious seconds.
Did I lie to Miss?
That's a simple question, Mr. Bradley. You're a lawyer. Did you lie to Miss Merchant when you told her facts about Mr. Wade and Miss Willis's relationship?
Did you notice his tongue? When you get nervous, your mouth dries out, your tongue feels like a cotton ball, and your lips get dry. And this is what's happening to him. And as he prepares to speak, he takes his tongue and he covertly tries to wipe his lips a couple times. See if you catch it now. I'll slow it down here. You see the tongue? Watch, it's going to go here as it wipes through the other side.
I mentioned earlier that I speculated.
Why did I stop there? This is a very important term. Speculation is something that doesn't tie you to any facts, and it keeps your rear end out of trouble. Let's define speculation. The contemplation or consideration of some subject or single instance or process of consideration. A conclusion or opinion reached by such contemplation. And notice it says here that these speculations are impossible to verify. And then the last one here, conjectural consideration of a matter, conjecture, or surmise. That means it is a report based on speculation rather than facts. Just so you can see it a little bit bigger here, it's based on speculation rather than facts. Why is this important? Because if he says he's speculating, they cannot hold his feet to the fire saying that he lied.
I mentioned earlier that I speculated on some things. I've testified to what I did know.
Now comes the magic word. I'm hoping that you're still with me because you have to watch. There's 3 magic words. If you ever get in trouble, if you're ever on the hot seat in a courtroom, if you're ever before a judge or a jury, learn these 3 words that he's going to speak, and it's the magic words. Watch.
Mr. Bradley, when you were communicating different details of the relationship between Miss Willis and Mr. Wade to Mrs. Merchant, did you lie to her about any of those details?
Objection. Asked and answered twice.
I don't think he's answered it yet.
I don't recall ever.
I don't recall.
I don't recall. I don't recall. I don't recall.
Remember those words and you will always stay out of trouble. Here's why that's important. If you don't recall, or you don't know, or you don't remember, no one can trap you in anything. No one can say you're lying, and no one can say you're wrong. Now in this next clip, see if you notice how many times he does self-soothing gestures, where he's touching himself, where he's adjusting his clothing, where he's somehow in some way stroking his skin. See if you catch it.
I don't recall whether any of it was a lie or not.
Well,
This time, so.
at the time you were communicating with Miss Merchant, you were still friends with Mr. Wade, correct?
I'll walk through them with you. There's 4 of them. Here we go.
Whether any of it was a lie or not.
Notice here, he's grabbing his jacket. He's already put his clothes on. He doesn't need to adjust it. It's simply nervous energy finding a way to be used.
Well,
This time, so.
Now notice, watch his hands. First he's going to hold them up by his face. Then he changes his mind.
at the time you were
No, I think I'll just cross them down here. Well, that's not good enough. Now watch this.
communicating with
Nervous touching. See him stroking his chin?
Miss Merchant, you are still friends with Mr. Wade, correct?
See how he holds his chin here? This is a self-soothing gesture, also called a pacifying gesture. It's to relieve nerves. Now in this last clip, you're going to see two different things. You're going to see some anger by way of contempt, and you're going to see some lip compression that signifies holding back information. Check it out.
As a normal course of your relationships with your friends, do you pass on lies about your friends?
Do you see this? Notice one side of his face squeezes up because the muscle tense up, but only on one side of the face. This is called contempt. This is the only facial expression in body language that's asymmetrical. All other ones are symmetrical. They're on both sides of the face at the same time. Contempt is not. It's repressed anger. You're really not feeling good about what was said. It's simply contempt, and it always happens on one side or the other. It's asymmetrical.
Have I passed on a lie about a friend? Is that what you're asking?
Is that something you normally do, Mr. Bradley? Do you tell lies about your friends?
Notice he adjusted his coat again as though it needed to be adjusted. It didn't. It's nervous energy. And notice he also repeated the question again.
Have I passed on a lie about a friend?
He's looking for time to come up with something to say. Now watch the end here.
Have I told lies about friends? I could have, I don't know.
Do you tell lies about your friends about a case of national importance?
Objection, that's took.
All right, overruled.
I could have, I don't know.
Look at his bottom lip. Look at his lips. See how they're compressed? Usually when you compress your lips, in almost every case, not all but most, when you compress your lips like that, it's because you're withholding something that you want to say. He came up with something and he's angry and he wants to say more, but he knows not to say it. So what does he do? He compresses his lips. It's simple body language. When you see people do this, they're holding back something that they want to say.
Do you tell lies about your friends about a case of national importance?
Objection, that's took.
All right, overruled.
I could have, I don't know.
This is an ongoing saga, and this was one of the worst attempts, in my opinion, and my opinion only, one of the worst attempts at covering up a lie that I've seen in a long time. It's very easy to read if you simply know what you're looking for. And on this channel, I'm always trying to train you to look, to see, to observe, and to notice things that normally you don't notice, because it keeps you out of trouble and it keeps you safe. Now do me a favor, if you're still here, click on one of these other videos, and I will see you very soon in the next video.